Shall we go on to this next key community issue? It's very similar. Number 6, economic development. Mr. Crosby, it's your turn to begin. Even though Madison, the city, is the second fastest growing in the Mississippi, you have said in your campaign that you feel Madison's growth is being held back by the current administration. You say you would be friendlier to business who want to come into Madison, and you would bring in more business to create more jobs. Mr. Crosby, some Madison residents believe that would just create more traffic congestion and strain our local government and result in higher taxes to keep up with the additional growth. Not such a good idea, I say. Mr. Crosby, how much growth is enough growth, and how much growth is too much growth?
Well, we're going to go back to the economic development deal here. And it says, in my opinion, you shouldn't have to leave town to get what you want in Madison. I've got folks that want to go out to eat somewhere else. The other day I asked a bunch of ladies, where did you buy the dress you have on now, or the dress you wore to church this past weekend, or if you went out to eat? Every one of them said they bought their shoes and clothes elsewhere. We've got to have economic growth. The old saying, build it, they'll come, there's some truth to that. And how much is too much growth? I can't answer that. But I do know we've got to have more growth. Again, I go back to putting together a 5, 10, 15, and 20-year plan for all areas, and residential growth, commercial growth, and retail, and also sports complexes. We have got to have that, and we've got to have continued, or we're not going to get the balance. And we've got to have the balance that we are out of balance, trust me, on the percentage of housetop ad valorem taxes coming in, and the sales tax and the tax dollars coming in from the business side and the industrial side. And until we get that balance, we're not going to be able to do the extra things that we need, the Hoy roads. We're needing to come up with $6 million right now that as the city doesn't have to try to match and get going over here with MDOT, over here on Madison Avenue. So we've got to get that balance. Right now, just to make it real quick and simple, a household costs, for every dollar that they send in, it costs about $1.25 or $1.30 to operate that. So how long is that going to work? That's one of the reasons we're in the boat we're in. We've got to get this other revenue in here and get the growth so that we can have the extra money to do things on Hoy Road, on Bozeman Road, on Madison Avenue, and increase our ability to build 2 fire stations.
Well, I'm glad that the city of Madison is in the boat we're in. Madison redefined economic development 30 years ago. We did everything backwards that everybody else was doing, and look at this city now. We treated housing as our industry. That was our economic development too. People were our business. We would build the finest subdivisions, protect them with good planning and good zoning. Protect your investment. Support the schools. Have the finest school system possible. And that we would be a place that we would focus on crime prevention and have a safe environment. Have the environment where people want to live and rear their children and retire. And we'd have a place that business would want to come. And once those rooftops were counted and the market was here, then they could make a profit and they would come. They would come with the ordinances, with the architectural control of the Madison look. They would come with the landscape. They would come with all of those things that set us apart, and it has worked. The first 10 years we grew by 233%, Mississippi's fastest growing city. And look, can you tell that we're not growing? Look at the 463 and 55, Mississippi Sports Medicine under construction, a wellness center, Mississippi Eye Clinic. It's coming, the best in specialized medicine. We have not rolled out the red carpet just to accept anything and everything to create some kind of tax base. True. We got it, and we got it right the first time.
Would you request a 1 minute rebuttal? You may have.
You know, when she starts naming off all the people that were here, she'd have a longer list if we were a lot more business friendly. Example right here, see these bumps in my hand? I went to a doctor in Flowood the other day, and when he found out I was running for mayor, he just stopped and he said, you know, I would be in Madison right now if it wasn't for your mayor and all of the requirements that she has up there. So that would be another doctor's office that we have, maybe across from Belterre, who knows? But you know, the thing is, we don't even get the opportunity. So, you know, I don't buy all that she's saying, and I really recommend that you don't buy all that she's saying. It's a little sugar-coated because I'm going to tell you, the city is not in as financial shape as you think it is, and it doesn't have the cash balances that we need, and we could have a disaster, and this city would probably have to borrow money within 2 months to operate if the disaster was bad enough. Folks, y'all don't want that. I don't want that. And I'll leave end on that. Thank you.
1 minute.
My opponent knows about borrowing money. I bet half or more than half of the people in this room do not know that a few months ago that the county borrowed under a promissory note $7 million in anticipated of taxes for next year. $7 million, folks. Not a bond issue that you have the right to protest and is advertised. $7 million to operate the general fund or do whatever they want to do with it. Don't know. But we can get into that later. And we got it right. Tylertown News, April 11th, realizes Madison. Some towns get it while others don't. Madison, Mississippi gets it right in Tylertown News.
Each and 1 minute rebuttal each, so we'll go on to the next issue, which is family living. Mayor Mary, it's your turn. Family Circle magazine says Madison, the city, is one of the top 10 towns for families in America. What do you plan to keep it that way?
That was a great honor, and is a great honor. When you look at Boston area, the Los Angeles area, the Chicago area,